Alright, the Thunder were prepared for Game 4, and the obvious adjustment against Ant was to have Zay show or even blitz him coming off his screens, because he was easily exploiting Zay's levels for being too low in Game 3, so that was just forcing the rock out of his hands. Between that, loose pickup, and even loose denial, the Wolves just decided to have the others bring it up, and in order to get it to him on the move, they started running floppies or pin downs from under the rim, but those only worked a couple times on the night. I think they've got to run more BPs up top, or just have him hunt Shet, because the Thunder haven't made any adjustments to Shet's levels, so he was at least able to get one of his cleanest looks doing that in the fourth, and that was really what forced Daniel to hide Shet on Jaden for the rest of the quarter. But all Ant had to do was call up Jaden or hunt other matchups, so he continued to spray whenever he got downhill, or continued to get two on the rock to open up the short, and if anything, Nikhil was doing the same thing, because he took full advantage of his opportunity to run a lot of the offense. He never hesitated to pull whenever he had the slightest bit of space, and he was making the right reads in the SNRs to either get downhill or find the roller every time, so he was by far the biggest beneficiary of the Thunder's defensive game plan on Ant, because he got to show what he's capable of on the rock. But even all the others capitalized on their opportunities to score or create, because they were all just as aggressive, so they were pulling on open looks from deep, attacking closeouts, getting runouts, and they were all crashing the O-boards, especially Rudy. The only one that didn't capitalize as much as they should have was Mike, because with Zay still in a mega drop against him in that two-man game with Rudy, he's got to make more of his wide open looks from deep, or just eat that space more to get to his right float, or to even find Rudy inside, and if he could be as effective as Nikhil was on the night, they'd probably put the rock in his hands more than they do. But at least they still had enough offense to win, because it was basically a 1-4 possession game throughout, so it really came down to a couple reasons for the Thunder maintaining their lead, and first was the details. It all started with their physicality, because per usual, they were very handsy, so they were forcing a lot of turnovers in those passing or driving lanes, and they were securing a lot of their own O-boards, and a lot of the 50-50s. All those crucial plays just led to timely buckets, but more importantly, they all finally made shots, and that shot making was the second reason, because those winning plays combined with those timely shots only let the Wolves tie the game at most. As I said after Game 3, they need the others to make their open looks from deep, especially one pass away, because the Wolves are willing to live with them taking those shots, and they finally made the Wolves pay for it whenever they loaded up on Shai or even Dub up top this game. A lot of them were coming from Shet, because he was always decisive on the catch, so he was either pulling quick when he was open, or attacking quick against those closeouts, and that aggressiveness was crucial for him all night, especially in the fourth. But it all started with Shai and Dub setting the tone out the gates, because with or without that two-man game with Zay, the two were always aggressive, and the obvious adjustment to free up their ones up top was to create a single side. They just had the others overload one side, then kept the shooter in the corner on the other, so that forced the Wolves defender to stay at home, and they didn't necessarily need a slot cut to remove the nail help, because even when it was there, Shai would just attack away from it, or just make the right pass. But what really made the biggest difference was just him and Dub hunting Nas non-stop, and that's all the two did from late in the third onward, because whenever Nas was brought into the action, it was a bucket for him, Dub, or Shet every time, so they just ran that until they were able to secure the win with a free throw game down the wire. After that choke job in Game 1 of the Nugs series, I wasn't sure if they'd try that again, but they actually managed to get Shai the rock, so it worked out, and now they're just one game away from their second finals. Just watch the tape.
Falls down, gets it to Williams, three-pointer. It's good! Jalen Williams with a big bucket.